Hey guys, I'm Brogan. Now, mini PCs have come a really long way over the last few years, but can one this small really replace a full-blown gaming PC? That's exactly what we're going to find out right here in this video. Now, this is the ACEMAGIC F5A AI Mini PC, packing an AMD Ryzen 7 H255 processor, Radeon 780M integrated graphics, 24 gigabytes of LPD DDR5 memory, and a 1TB SSD inside a chassis that's barely bigger than your hand. It's designed for everything from everyday productivity and content creation to AI workloads and multi-monitor setups. But let's be honest, that's not why we're here today. The Ryzen 7 H255 features 8 cores, 16 threads, boost clocks up to 4.9 GHz, and the Radeon 780M iGPU. So today in this video, we're going to give it the ultimate gaming test. We're going to dive into some retro video game emulation first. We'll see how it handles PS2, PS3, and so on. And then we'll start diving into some AAA titles, and we'll answer the question everybody wants to know. Can a mini PC like this actually deliver a good gaming experience, or is it better suited as a productivity PC? Let's unbox it, we'll take a look at the layout and design, and then we'll put it through the ultimate gaming test. Alright guys, here is the box. We'll go ahead and start opening this up. Now, ACEMAGIC always does a great job of making sure that everything is padded nicely, ready for transit, so you're not going to have any issues. So we got the mini PC sitting right on top right here. We're going to set that aside just for a moment. At the bottom, you can see we have another compartment down there. So we're going to go ahead a little bit further into this, and we'll be able to see exactly what is included in here beyond just, of course, the mini PC. So quite a bit of things in the packing. We first off have our user manual, which usually these are pretty straightforward, walks through how you go ahead and set everything up. So from connecting over a keyboard, mouse, monitor, etc. You can even mount this on the back side of a monitor if you wanted to. And it pretty much repeats itself in a bunch of different languages here. So we're going to set that aside. We've got our two-part power supply cable located right over here. So you're going to take the end that's going to plug into your outlet, power outlet, connect that over. Other end over here is going to plug directly into the back side of the mini PC. Now, inside of this little baggie here, it looks like we have a mounting bracket. I assume we probably have some mounting screws somewhere in here as well. Oh, there they are. So we do have the, oops, they're running for it. We do have the screws inside of here, so obviously be super careful when you open this up. And those screws should work for both mounting to the bracket and also for if you ever wanted to make any adjustments within the actual unit. So there's a couple different screw types there. And then we also have a provided HDMI cable, obviously great for getting this up and running with a monitor or TV. So we'll set those aside. Let's go ahead and bring in now our mini PC. So right here we've got the mini PC. We'll flip this over, we'll unwrap this so we can take a closer look at the layout and design. Now, first thing that I notice here is the backside. We have a massive cooling fan built directly into the backside right here. We have great ventilation around here as well, and it actually bows out ever so slightly. So I think that's just to give it a little bit more room and circulate the air better internally, get all the hot air out, and just keep this thing breathing so we don't overheat. Now, very nice grayish sort of metal finish. Now, this is metal on here. There's no cheap plastic anywhere on the sides. We have a little bit of plastic on top, but this feels really sleek, very well made, and definitely durable. I also like the fact that you can see another cooling fan right through the grate right there. But we have great ventilation across the entire top. Most mini PCs, the top has no ventilation, so I really like the fact that this is very well ventilated and also looks super sleek and compact. Now, going to the front panel across here, we have first off a power button all the way over there on the far left if you're looking at this head on. We also have an audio jack cable connection right over here, followed by two USB 3 ports. These are going to be great for connecting over external hard drives, SSDs, controllers, as far as gaming goes. Then we also have a USB 4 Type-C port directly next to that. We have a reset button, which is recessed in there. And if we go to the sides, you'll notice that on that metal frame, we do have some ventilation built into this, but backside is going to be where your additional ports are. We also have ventilation back here as well, but over here we have our power supply cable connection. So if we were to grab our power supply cable, that's going to connect over right here. Other end goes into your power outlet in order to provide power to this. So we'll take that out just for the time being. We have another USB 4 Type-C port right there. Underneath the two stickers are our Ethernet ports, so if you want to have a wired internet connection, which is always going to be the most stable and quickest, that's a great way to plug directly in there. Now we have our HDMI port right here, which has a little stopper in it to keep dust and debris out of there. So HDMI port right there, and right below it we have our display port. So I'm only going to be using today HDMI, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this right back into the display port. Just, you know, it makes perfect sense to keep that covered if you're not going to have it in use. Down here on the end we have two additional USB-A ports. We have a USB 3 on top and then a USB 2 right below there. So I'd use the USB 2 for like a wireless mouse dongle or plugging my keyboard in, and I would, you know, leave the USB 3s open for the more gaming related things, controllers, external hard drives, SSDs, etc. Now, one thing that I initially overlooked is over here, if you're looking at this head on, it's going to be on the far left side. We do have an Oculink port over here, and that's obviously something that we do not want to forget about here. So very nice that it's pre-installed. I've talked about this a lot in past videos. A lot of mini PCs do not provide you with an Oculink that's already installed. You have to actually open everything up. The Oculink comes separate, and you have to physically install it yourself. So not the case here. It's ready to go straight out of the box, as you can see. So let's flip this over now and just take a look at the bottom side of the actual mini PC. Again, we went over the cooling fan, the fact that it is raised a little bit there. We have our 4 rubber feet on the sides, and we have 2 additional spots right here where we can actually use that mounting bracket right over here if we wanted to. They even provide the screws to mount it if you wanted to put this on the back side of a monitor or anything like that. Now, if we wanted to open this mini PC up, which I'm not going to bother with it today, I think we've gone through the specs enough on the intro here, and we're going to put this to the test, but if we wanted to open this up, you would have to remove the 4 rubber feet, which is a design for opening mini PCs that I'm not crazy about, but in this case that's how you have to open everything up. So you would remove these rubber feet. You'll probably have to put a little bit of adhesive on the back side of those, or a little glue, when you reapply them and put them in place. Otherwise there will be one, I guarantee you, that's always kind of flopping around or falling off. But you'll remove those. There's set screws on the bottom sides of these, and you'll lift up those 4 screws and be able to access everything internally. So if you wanted to expand upon the RAM or the storage capacity, you would be able to do so by removing these rubber feet, accessing the screws underneath, and then from there opening everything up. We're not going to do that today though. We're going to put this to the ultimate test. Let's start diving into some games and see what the gaming potential is for this mini PC right here from ACEMAGIC.
Forward deck's clear. Green light on Alpha. Go. Ready, sir. Van out. 3 meters spread. Got 2 on the platform. I see them. Weapons free. Roger that. Target neutralized. Tango down. We've got company. Hammer 2-4, we've got tangos on the 2nd floor. Copy. Engaging. screen incoming.
My goodness!
Round one. Fight. KO. Round two. Fight.
Alright guys, so we jumped into the ACEMAGIC F5A mini PC. We have an AMD Ryzen 7 processor. We've got the AMD Radeon graphics in here as well, and we get some serious performance capabilities. Now we're going to talk about performance momentarily. Let's first talk about the layout and design. This has easy access to everything that we need. Right on the front panel as gamers, we've got the USB-A ports on there, we've got the Type-C port on there, the audio jack cable connection, and then as we flip it around to the side, I was pleasantly surprised to find that we do have an Oculink. It's pre-installed, ready to go, so you don't have to do any of the tedious installation on that. Not that it's super, difficult to do, but a lot of mini PCs do make you do it yourself. I like that this comes right out of the box, ready to go. So if you do want to use the Oculink port, you have the availability right there out of the box to do so immediately. Now we also have DisplayPort, we have HDMI port, we have the USB 4 Type-C ports on here. So lots of different display capabilities, lots of different connection capabilities here. We have the dual Ethernet ports on the backside too. So as a avid gamer, I always go that route when gaming on my PC. It's just much better and more stable and quicker than Wi-Fi. So all the capabilities there are incredible. Now, cooling we have to talk about here because it's silent cooling. Now, what I mean by silent cooling is a lot of times mini PCs specifically, when you put them to the ultimate test, you start diving into AAA titles, they start to sound like an airplane. Very loud, you definitely feel the fluctuations and you hear the fluctuations in performance. That's not the case here. We have great airflow on here, we have great cooling fans integrated in, and this thing stays cool proactively and it does not sound like an airplane going by you. So in fact, I have it right now. I'm not actively gaming clearly, but I'm in a game right now. I can see it on my monitor right here. The PC is literally about 2 inches left of my microphone, and you guys can't hear anything in the background. It's silent cooling, so I love that about this. Now, we obviously focused on gaming here to check out the performance capabilities there. You can edit on here, you can do AI workloads on here, you can use this as a home office PC, a regular office PC, you can literally do anything and everything on here. But gaming is going to be the ultimate test, that's why I chose to do that for this video. We jumped into retro video game emulation. This can handle everything retro, no shortcomings, even PS3, Nintendo Switch, PS2, GameCube, Xbox, some Xbox 360, no issues whatsoever with retro. We jumped into AAA titles. Now, AAA titles, it's going to vary a little bit, but the majority of AAA games that I jumped into, I had a very good experience with. I'm not going to say it's going to be a top-notch experience. It's not going to rival that of a full-blown gaming PC, but it is still very good. Now, we do have to talk about the price point here because I'm not going to hold this to the standard of a $1,100 or $1,200 mini PC, which we're seeing a lot of flood the market these days that do have AAA gaming potential. This has AAA gaming potential, but at a much more reduced price point. Currently, at the time of this recording, there's a promo that brings the price of the F5A down to $589, which is a very competitive price point for what this offers. Now remember, prices for many of the components that are integrated into these mini PCs have skyrocketed over the last couple of years. So once upon a time, something like this would have cost, $375, $400. It's 2026 now. Those days are gone. $589 for this, and I think that that is a very attractive price point for what you get under the hood. You got 24 gigabytes of RAM on here. You've got the 1 terabyte SSD installed within here, and then of course the AMD Ryzen 7 processor, specifically the H255, and then of course the AMD Radeon graphics built in here, which just gives you a great gaming experience. Now, again, is this going to be best for, the latest and greatest Call of Duty title? No, probably. That's going to probably exceed what you're going to get out of this right here. You can, of course, dial back the graphics a little bit. You can dumb it down a little bit and get through like Fortnite and stuff like that. But you may have, some minor screen tearing, and, it just may not be the experience that you're looking for. The majority, though, of PC games or PC games that are, more than a couple of years old, no issues whatsoever in my experience. So this definitely unlocks a lot of capabilities. It's not unlimited capabilities, but for $589, I think it's definitely a solid price point. So for you guys to learn a little bit more about this particular product here from ACEMAGIC, click the link in the description of this video. That's going to do it for today, though, guys. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about what you saw here today. Do you like this unique mini PC? Do you like the capabilities that it offers? And would you use this for gaming? And if you are going to use it for gaming, would you try to push it to AAA gaming or just go retro? Let me know in the comments. That's going to do it for today, guys. Again, click the link in the description of the video to learn more about this product. Be sure to also, of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for future videos right here on the Chase Brogan YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.